Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. After the Pledge of Allegiance, please join me for a moment of silence in recognition of past and present employees that we have lost in 2019.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Consideration of agenda items.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Mr. Chair, I move the
Motion
approval of
by-
the consent agenda.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Looking to motion to adjourn 2019 McLeod County Board, sine die.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Polmeyer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Sheila?
Good morning. We'll call to order the first organizational meeting of 2020 of the McLeod County Board of Commissioners. I'm requesting nominations for the 2020 County Board Chair.
I move to nominate Joe Nagel.
Second that nomination.
Are there any motion by Commissioner Kruger, second by Commissioner Wright? Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you. Now I'll take nominations for Vice Chair.
Mr. Chair, I'll nominate Commissioner Doug Kruger.
Motion for Doug Kruger by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consideration of agenda items. Are there any additions or corrections to the agenda? Hearing none, is there a motion to approve?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Consent agenda.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Polmeyer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Government Center update. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning. Quick update today, as far as
Speak into the microphones, please.
is it? Yep, there we go.
There you go.
Doesn't help with the sinus infection going on here. Quick budget update. And really, nothing's overall changed from the last update I provided here a couple weeks ago. We do have a couple PRs or proposal requests off to the contractors, just asking for a few cost cleanup items in regards to code issues. During a plan review process, there's a few things, state of Minnesota sees some firewalls or things different, so we're getting that addressed and cleaned up. Other than that, budget kind of is as is, and really more than anything, probably a little quick schedule update from Sam here.
The schedule's looking good. We still are anticipating our structural steel to be delivered this week. With the last couple holidays, it's a couple days off, but I've managed to get some framing done ahead of time, so everything's looking
Into the
good.
microphone, please.
Everything's looking good. We're still on schedule to start framing the rest of the project about the first week in February. And concrete should be all poured back in by then as well.
Mr. Chairman?
Ron?
Sam, You said the structural steel is coming in possibly this week.
Yes.
Will that be offloaded inside the building immediately, or will it be stored outside?
Yeah, we have plenty of room for storage inside the building, which will help.
Okay, all right. I was just considering,
Yep.
winter weather, keep it warm, so
Oh, yeah. It's nice to have a good-sized building like that.
nice and clean.
Yep,
All right, okay, thank you.
thank you.
All right, any other questions? All right, thank you.
Yep, thank you, guys.
Environmental Services. Good morning, Mark.
We do have one item on the agenda this morning. It is consideration of approval of a memorandum of agreement to participate in the development of the Lower Minnesota River One Watershed One Plan. This item was previously on the December 31st, 2019 agenda and was tabled, and we do have one correction to this, so it was prudent that we did that. The parties have formed this agreement for the specific goal of developing a plan pursuant to Minnesota Statute 103B.801, Comprehensive Watershed Management Planning, also known as One Watershed One Plan. This agreement establishes a common interest in statutory authority to prepare, adopt, and assure implementation of a comprehensive watershed management plan in the Lower Minnesota River West watershed, to conserve soil and water resources through the implementation of practices, programs, and regulatory controls that effectively control or prevent erosion, sedimentation, siltation, and related pollution in order to preserve natural resources, ensure continued soil productivity, protect water quality, reduce damages caused by floods, preserve wildlife, protect tax base, and protect public lands and waters. This agreement is pursuant to Minnesota statutes Chapter 103B, 103C, and 103D with public drainage systems pursuant to Minnesota Statute 103E. This agreement does not change the rights or obligations of the public drainage system authorities. Commissioner Doug Kruger and Commissioner Paul Wright have been appointed as the delegate and alternate to the Policy Committee for this agreement by McLeod County Board of Commissioners on October 8th, 2019. Mr. Young has reviewed this agreement and has found it to be satisfactory. With that being said, there is one addition to this. On page 3 of the agreement, under item 6, administration, it's in paragraph I, about 3 sentences up from the bottom, and I'll just read it. The policy committee shall have one vote, and subject to the authority delegated by their respective governing body, shall have the authority to act on behalf of the party they represent in the following matters: interim reporting and review, and Bowser Board of Water and Soil Conservation would like to add recommend approval of payments. So right after review and approval of interim reporting, it would be recommend approval of payments. That's the only addition to this agreement that was offered.
It's in the packet.
With that being said, I'll turn it back to the board if there's any further questions.
All right, any questions for Mark?
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
Mark, I just have a couple of questions. I don't track these watershed plans all that closely, but this is a new organization. Is there financial commitment on behalf of McLeod County to fund this organization, or is it funded by Bowser?
It's actually funded by the planning grant through Bowser. That planning grant has already been received. This is just an agreement to establish operating procedures in regards to the delegates that are going to act as the board that's going to make recommendations for the plan.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the memorandum of agreement.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Kruger, any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. Connie, I think we can take your first item, but we'll wait on the public hearing, of course. So,
Sure. Thank you. Happy New Year to everyone.
Happy New Year.
So I do have 2 items under my regular agenda here. Item A, consider approval of services agreement between McLeod County CD 63 and Houston Engineering for a project entitled CD 63 Historic Review and Repair Report, estimated amount of $45,500. I do want to make one note that there was a second version of this agreement sent out late Friday, and I've distributed paper copies to the board. They're available here for people in attendance, and they will be available online in the packet after today's meeting. That estimated amount of that contract is $48,500. Essentially, the difference is on page 3, Attachment A, under the assumptions, the addition is the third bullet point. Repair report will evaluate 2 alternatives. The second alternative will be the same as the first alternative, with channel side slopes modified to 2-to-1 where appropriate and necessary in the system. That is the additional $3,000 of that agreement.
So give me the total again, what would be?
One of them is $45,500. The second one is $48,500.
Okay.
Do you want me to keep going?
Yes,
or-
please.
Okay.
Sorry.
So just the background to this, during the December 20th CD 63 informal meeting, there was a general consensus of the landowners in attendance to move forward with the process of this engineered survey to identify the as-constructed and subsequently improved condition of the system with preparation of a repair report to summarize the requirements of the proposed repair project. And the second item was the removal of all trees and brush from the embankment and buffer, which is item B, to consider the approval of the quote between McLeod County CD 63 and Reinert Logging, an estimated amount of $16,198. Any questions?
Any questions for Connie?
Mr. Chair, I think the intentions of the meeting are definitely here in front of us. There was added interest at that meeting from landowners to be able to look at side slope repair, getting rid of that 1-to-1 slope, going more 2-to-1 in some areas, especially where it is extremely steep. And so that would be the added features in the second contract for $48,500 with Houston. I'll make a motion to approve that.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Now I think we're on to item B.
Yep. Removing the trees is also an item of concern and needs to be out of the way before we can do the necessary ditch repair. So I'll make a motion to approve the quote from Reinert Logging.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll wait till the public hearing until 9:30. All right?
Connie,
Move to-
don't we need to have them approve the findings in order?
That's on 64. That's in the
Under the public hearing, right, Mike?
At 9:30.
At 9:30? Shall we wait till 9:30 to do that under the public hearing?
We have yet to do it on 63 as well.
I think we did 63.
At the last hearing,
Yeah, we went through the full on that one, and then the viewers came forward on 64.
okay.
at that-
Has the final order been signed?
I believe so.
Okay, good enough.
Thank you.
All right, we'll move to county administration. We've been together 3 weeks in a row, so I'm not sure how busy our calendars are, but Rich, go ahead.
The calendar was very late. I was able to have some family time for New Year's Eve, and that brings me up to today. No
All right.
meetings in the process.
Paul?
As far as formal meetings done, just local comments about 63 and 64, which we're taking care of today.
No formal meetings. I had some scheduled, but had some other conflicts regarding union negotiations, but was able to deal with them with some technology. Ron?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. Well, I've had a couple of meetings. We did some negotiating with one of our bargaining units on January 2nd, and then on Friday, January 3rd, I met with the Mental Health Local Advisory Committee over in Hutchinson. That's a quarterly meeting that we have with our social services and area agencies providing services. And then we had another bargaining session with with one of our bargaining units yesterday. That's where we've been. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Doug?
I guess all I had this last week was I did help with administration on an interview and also met with administration on some agenda items. Yesterday I had an MRC board meeting. I used it on a GoToMeeting, and we pretty much went through our agenda for 2020 on
different things that we would support and not support as far as going into legislative session. And then I finished out yesterday with a meeting with the city of Glencoe, the landowners, and ourselves, the county, on the water drainage issue up at HHS coming into Glencoe, and going to try to move forward with repairing the tile that's there. Thanks. That brings me to today.
Sheila, anything to add?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have nothing to add.
All right, we can, go ahead.
Item A, consider approval of the proposed 2020 County Board meeting dates, including the evening meetings for the Board of Appeals and Equalization and Truth and Taxation.
All right, any major conflicts or concerns? Please note the evening meetings, the 16th of June and the 1st of December.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the 2020 County Board meeting schedule.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wright. Sheila, I'm sorry, did I cut you off, or are we okay?
No, we're fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Any discussion?
Mr. Chair, just the one question. Now, this is up to date. This is the one that has the changes. There was a couple of meetings that were initially changed, and this is the correct one. Is that right?
Correct. There was a scheduling conflict
Right.
for December for the annual AMC meeting, which caused us to change the previously planned December 8th date, which worked out better because it spread our meetings out further for that
And
month.
that's a good. I just wanted to make sure it was up to date. Thank you.
And we can add and move them. We just need to make sure we do that in advance and that, but this, hopefully we can stick to this through the year. So, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you. Item B, asking you to consider adopting Resolution 20CB03, awarding official McLeod County newspaper for 2020 to McLeod Publishing Incorporated from Glencoe, Minnesota. We sent invitations to bid via sealed bid to 3 local newspapers, including the McLeod County Chronicle, Hutchinson Leader, and Winstead Herald Journal. Bids were due to the Administrator's Office by 4:30 p.m. on January 3rd, 2020. Bids were solicited for the official McLeod County newspaper and the second publication of the McLeod County 2019 financial statement. Bids were received by the McLeod Publishing Incorporated and the Hutchinson Leader. We recommend awarding the bid of the official newspaper to the low bidder, McLeod Publishing Incorporated.
Mr. Chair, I would move to approve Resolution 20CB03, awarding the county official newspaper to the McLeod County Chronicle.
And I'll second it. Motion by Commissioner Kruger, and I'll second it. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item C, asking you to consider adopting Resolution 20CB04, awarding second publication of 2019 McLeod County financial statement. The official McLeod County newspaper will receive the award for the first publication of the 2019 McLeod County financial statement. The second publication is recommended to be awarded to Hutchinson Leader. Bids were solicited for the publication of the McLeod County financial statement and were due to the Administrator's Office by 4:30 p.m. on January 3rd, 2020. Bids were received by McLeod County Chronicle and the Hutchinson Leader.
All right.
Mr. Chair, I move the adoption of resolution number 20CB04.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Pohlmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item D, Resolution 19CB03, adopted last year, authorizing McLeod County Administrator to designate depositories and to do so on an annual basis per the investment policy. The Administrator shall supply the Board of Commissioners with a list of those financial institutions designated as depositories. In your packets, you will see a list of the 2020 designated depositories listed by their corporate locations.
Any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the list of depositories, Resolution 19CB03.
Motion by Commissioner Kruger. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item E, asking you to consider approval to close county facilities to the public at noon on Thursday, December 24, 2020. Scheduled non-essential employees will receive 4 hours of regular rate holiday pay rather. Scheduled essential employees required to work after 12 o'clock p.m. on December 24th, 2020 will receive 4 hours of regular rate holiday pay in addition to their accrued pay for that day.
All right, any questions?
Mr. Chair, I move to approve the recommendation of the administrator.
Motion by Commissioner Szymanski, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item F, asking you to consider approval of an employment contract with Dwayne Ratke for February 11th through April 10th, 2020, as full-time temporary sentence to serve crew leader trainer at a rate of $25 per hour.
Move to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second.
A second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item G, asking you to adopt Resolution 20 CB05, authorizing human resources to fill replacement positions in 2020. This resolution will support human resources backfilling open positions as they are approved by the Personnel Committee. This resolution is intended to cover the fact that we no longer bring every position replacement to the board, but each position is still reviewed by the Personnel Committee to support responsible staffing levels of the county.
All right. Any questions? I'll move to approve. Is there a second?
A second.
Second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Item H, notification of a McLeod County workshop to discuss the Highway 5-year plan to be held January 14th, 2020 at 10:30 a.m. at the McLeod County North Complex Conference Room, 2391 Hennepin Avenue North, Glencoe. Item I, notification of Joint Ditch 4 McLeod-Renville Joint Drainage Meeting to be held Friday, January 17, 2020 at 1:30 p.m. at the McLeod County North Complex Conference Room, 2391 Hennepin Avenue North in Glencoe. And item J, notification of McLeod County Workshop to be held on January 21, 2020, following the McLeod County Board meeting at the Glencoe City Center, 830 11th Street East, Glencoe. Thank you.
All right. Unless any board members have anything else, we'll push the pause button until 9:30, until our public hearing.
Sounds good.
All right?
Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
I hope I'm not out of order here, but I just, as long as we got a few minutes, I'll bring it up. We had at our MRC meeting, board meeting yesterday, we've already appointed myself and alternate Commissioner Polmeyer to the MRC board. But in the past, I've noticed that sometimes at our meetings, some commissioners can make the MRC meeting and not. And I see several other counties have they appointed a delegate per se, and then all other commissioners. And I mean, I'd just like to have you think about that. And Mr. Young, that is not a problem, I don't think. There's quite several other counties that are doing that. That way, there's always somebody to sit in at these meetings.
If that's the wishes of the board, you're free to do that.
I went to some. They're very good.
Well, I just when I went through some of we do a lot of go-to meetings, and some, you get there, and the counties that are doing that seem to be able to fill their slots a lot better than when you only have one or two and have a conflict. But I mean, it's just something that I'd like to do. I don't know if it takes a board action, but if it does, I'd move that we do that.
Should we put it on an agenda?
Do we have to? I suppose we do. Okay.
Let's put it on the agenda
Put
for
it on
next
next
for 2
agenda.
weeks.
It'll just have the delegate and then as the alternate, all other board members.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
I need a motion to open the public hearing for the finding and order of CD 64 redetermination of benefits. Motion by Commissioner Wright. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schmansky. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carries. All right. Purpose of the hearing, go ahead, Connie, you can just take over
Sure.
here.
So the purpose of today's hearing, there are three purposes. The first is to continue the discussion of the viewer corrections to the viewer's redetermination of benefits report. The second is to present the findings in order for approval of the board. And the third is to consider approval of the services agreement between McLeod County CD 64 and Houston Engineering for a project entitled CD 64 Culvert Sizing, estimated amount of $11,000. So if I may, the first item then would be the discussion of the viewers' corrections to the viewer redetermination of benefits report. If you recall back on December 3rd, the viewers were in and on that day notified us that they had corrections to their report. We did have an informal meeting on Friday, December 20th, and with that meeting, there was a notice mailed to all landowners on December 9th about the corrections. I will state them here for the board also. So there were three of them. The first was a decrease in 3 benefited acres of one parcel owned by Charles J. Melberg Trust and Barbara A. Melberg Trust, resulting in a net benefit of negative $2,483.10. There was a formula that was missing for D acres of Collins Township with a net benefit of positive $850.50. And then we found the need to correct one of their formulas to the total acres to accurately reflect the acres of 1,951. So the above corrections result in a net change to benefits of negative $1,632.60, which is less than 0.065%. There were no comments from the landowners at that meeting about these changes.
Mr. Chair, and
Yes.
Connie, there was no responses to the letters that went out either, then, I assume, right?
Nobody said
Very
negatively
good.
or positively.
All right. And
So then if you think that that's all appropriate, the findings in order have been prepared by Connie. I've had a chance to review them. And if you agree with that, then you're free to pass that or enact that order.
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion to approve the order.
Second.
motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Polmeyer. Any discussion? Just for the sake of argument, does anybody from the public wish to speak? Seeing none, is there any other discussion from the board? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, then the third item is to consider the approval of the services agreement between McLeod County CD 64 and Houston Engineering for a project entitled CD 64 Culvert Sizing with the estimated amount of $11,000. That also we discussed during the December 20th informal meeting. There was a general consensus of the landowners in attendance to move forward with the process of an engineered survey to identify the as-constructed and subsequently improved condition of the system with preparation of an engineer's report to summarize recommended culvert sizes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, Collins Township is in the process of improving their township roads in terms of safety and integrity due to excessive water that sits alongside it. And because this ditch 64 has been redetermined, the ditch authority has the ability to work within the dollars needed on this culvert. However, we need to have Houston Engineering involved in making sure that the culvert sizing and placement and what the ideas that are there are going to work. And so I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Schmansky. Any discussion?
Just so it's clear, this isn't an engineering of the entire ditch. It's like the lower 1,000 or 2,000 feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chair, not other than just expanding on Mr. Young's comments, it's necessary, so that we have to do it in order to move forward. I know people will question the amount of money spending on engineering, but it's a necessary evil to move forward.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Excuse me. Go ahead, Connie.
That's actually all I have on this agenda.
Okay, anything else, Mike?
Just close the public meeting.
We can adjourn it now at this point, right?
Well, you can close the public meeting and then adjourn the board meeting.
All right, all right.
Or
Any other items deemed necessary for the ditch meeting? If not, we'll take a motion to close this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Wright, second by Commissioner Kruger. Any discussion? Hearing none, proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Motion to adjourn the public hearing.
If I may, open forum or press relations. I'm sorry?
We just closed the public hearing, but we didn't adjourn it.
Oh, that's what Mike said to do.
Oh, I stand corrected.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Now, motion to, I'm looking for a motion to recess the board meeting to our next meeting, January 21st at 9 a.m. at the Glencoe City Center.
So moved.
Motion by Commissioner Pohlmeyer,
Second.
second by Commissioner Szymanski. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries.